Hello, beautiful people. Chad Putman coming to you. So it is Saturday. I am ready, and now here I am, prepared to record my third video in my series Sex Positive. And I have been thinking about this video for weeks, and I'm super excited. And I've been thinking, and I've been making plans about how I want to have this conversation. And I've even invited a few people to join me in the conversation. That didn't work out, but maybe that'll happen in the future. And and it's Saturday, and normally I don't record these videos until Sunday, but I just didn't want to wait because I want to make sure I get it up and ready for all of you tomorrow. And so here goes: cocks and penis. If I'm going to have a conversation about sex positive, I cannot go down this road without sitting down and having a conversation with all of you about dicks, cocks, and penis, right? Let me just pause for a moment and say, with that being said, disclaimer, if this video is not for you, right? If you don't want to have this conversation, if you don't want to hear what I have to say, if you don't want to know about me more on an intimate level, I encourage you to drop out of this video and go find something else to do. And if you're still here with me, welcome. Glad you could join me. My name is Chad, and this is Sex Positive, and this episode is on cocks. My cock in particular, and my relationship with my penis. So, why have this conversation? I believe it's important because, growing up, we become very familiar with our penis very early on, and we learn to pee, and eventually we enter puberty, and eventually we become sexually active. And nobody ever really has conversations about cocks and dicks unless you're watching porn or you're reading illicit material. I remember in maybe it was junior high, we had a health class where they talked a little bit about puberty. We read a book and that was it. So it's not like these conversations happen. So I think it's important for me in my sexual health, my spiritual health, my practice, my recovery, to have bold, fun conversations about our bodies because they're part of us and this is what we do. So, questions I'm asking myself and encourage you to consider as well, all right, as I think and talk about my penis today. So, do you love your penis cock, right? Do you love your penis? Do you love your cock? If yes or if no, why or why not? What would you change about your penis or cock? What would you change? What would you like different? How does your cock perform? Are you happy with the performance of your cock? Not happy with the performance of your cock? And I think we all do this, comparing our cocks to other cocks, right? Whether it's in the locker room or some other place, online, watching porn, whatever it is, I'm sure we have all done it a billion times. Comparing my cock to somebody else's cock, whether it's somebody I'm hooking up with or I'm seeing or just happens to be wandering around naked, checking it out, right? Seeing what's up. How do I compare? Whatever. And then we have feelings. We have lots of feelings about this. Lots and lots. I think I do. Maybe you don't. Anyhow, the last thing I want to do is encourage you to think about this, but I also did it, and I'm going to end this episode with a letter that I wrote to my penis. Why not? We can write letters to our penis. It could be fun. You never know. Could be healing to all of you, many of you. Who knows? Maybe you're already in love with your cock and you don't need to watch this either. So up to you. Glad you're with me. So do you love your cock or penis? All right. So to be completely frank, I don't really love my cock, right? My penis, I guess we'll talk. So we'll talk about my penis as like day to day, my penis that I pee out of and that is just there every day. And my cock being like, when I'm hard and erect and having sex and engaged in sexual intimacy. So my cock versus my penis. So I guess I would say that, ever since I was entering puberty, I have not been in love with my penis. I feel like I was waiting for that growth spurt to happen that I feel like never really did. And so there it is. But I'm also like 6'2". And so a lot of people look at me like, I'm a basketball player. I'm tall. And so I should probably be like, have a hanging schlong between my legs. And for whatever reason, that's just not the case. I have thought to myself that it's very possible if I was or did have a hanging schlong, right, between my legs, I probably would have unfortunately gotten into the porn industry and probably would have died very young, because I think, having a smaller penis has provided me with some protections that didn't lead me into a crazy lifestyle. And, I've shared before that I struggle with sex addiction, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's possible that if I had a big, giant hanging penis, I probably would have gotten into the adult industry. And I don't know that I would have survived, but anyhow. So my penis, not super in love with it. It actually has multiple personalities in a way. So sometimes, obviously when it's cold, it's not fantastic. I have again, this is frank conversation. I have very elastic balls. So sometimes my balls just like to hide for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe they have an anxiety disorder. I'm not sure. But yeah, so the combination of having a smaller penis when I'm not erect and also kind of like funky balls that like to jump in and out from time to time, that's kind of wild. And also, like, I noticed that morning times, I tend to be more geared up, right? More closed in, less elongated, more restricted in the balls and etc. And in the evening, I'm just kind of more like just chilling, happy, whatever. And I don't know if that's just a morning thing or if other people experience that, but definitely seem to be a little bit more of a hanger in the evenings than in the mornings, and I'm not sure why. But I do know that sometimes when I'm in unfamiliar, uncomfortable environments, or if I'm going to hook up with somebody or something, my anxiety, like I just kind of like shrink up and get my balls kind of hide and all that stuff. So I don't know, maybe other people experience that. Feel free to like and comment this video. So do I love my penis? So again, no, don't love my penis, daytime penis. As far as my cock goes, I feel that when I am erect, I like the size of my penis, what it grows out to, right? It wasn't until later in life that I learned that there was such a thing as shower and growers. So here we are having this conversation. So definitely a grower family here. And I didn't know that that was a thing, but I do love the erectness of my penis. I'm grateful that it grows and takes the shape that it does. It's definitely a medium-sized penis, and the girth is great, and I enjoy it, and other people like it. Other men like it as well. So I'm grateful for the performance of my cock when I am engaged in sexual intimacy, aroused, etc. Not in love with my penis every day. So there's my cold, hard truth. Yay. All right. How does your cock perform? Or what would you change about my penis and cock? Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, like I've imagined myself coming into future lives, like having a schlong. Like sometimes, I don't know if other people think and obsess about this, but this idea that you come back as another person, and just this idea that, it'd be nice to come back and have a schlong. But that's not the case these days, but that's okay. So I think that I would probably be as I am as far as being erect and a cock. But like if I were to come back in a future life, like having a long penis between my legs with some girth to it, that when I'm not hard would be really cool. So that's that. All right. How does my cock perform? So, all right. So I'm going to be 50 this year. I feel that overall, my penis, I talked a little bit about how it has different personalities and morning time and my balls and that whole combination. But I would say it definitely has performance anxiety. So when I am, preparing to go hook up with somebody, I like to stay in my underwear. I don't necessarily want to get those off right away. And I'd rather start to get erect before I get naked. But that's not always the case. And I've also tried to do a lot of work around the love and acceptance of my penis and being okay with the size that it is, regardless of whether it's erect, and just being comfortable with this is what I got. And so, c'est la vie, right? I guess. But overall, I mean, I feel like my my cock performs pretty well. I'm happy with it. I would say though, with age, I definitely do not get as hard as I used to get. and I get hard and then I get softer. I notice that now a lot more. But I do appreciate the marvels of modern medicine and the fact that I can take different pills to help with, I wouldn't say I have erectile dysfunction, but I just, like it being more firm than it is. And I also like it to be more responsive than it is. As you'll see in my letter, when the trumpets play, I want it to come alive. And that's not always the case. Sometimes I'm like, wake up, wake up. And it's just kind of slow to wake up. So that is my truth. All right. So how does my cock perform? So that is my 211 on my cock performance. All right. Comparing my cock to others, or penis to others. So, and the impact that that's had on the choices that I make, and I've talked a little bit about this already. Absolutely, 100%, always comparing, but I don't know that that's the healthiest thing to do. I think later in life now, I've really tried to accept what I have, right? Just like, I can't change that I'm tall and skinny. I've tried. It's been 50 years. It's going to be the way it is. My penis is the way it is. My cock is the way it is. So I've just worked on acceptance around that and encourage you to kind of explore that conversation with yourself as well. But I would say, I remember one time when I was in Binghamton and then I went to a club and then we all went skinny dipping and they were like dying to get me skinny dipping. And I was like, absolutely not am I taking off my clothes so you can all see my penis. Because I was like freaking out, right? So it was just like anxiety disorder penis and not doing what I'd love it to do. And so there was just no way I was getting naked around those people because it just didn't feel safe to me. But I would say definitely there are times where I choose, like, whether it's, hiding myself or not wanting to show myself in ways. And, I've definitely been to some nude beaches. And my husband loves to be naked. And he did give me permission to let everybody know that he has a beautiful penis. I agree. And so he looks incredible on a nude beach. And I am who I am. But sometimes I show up. Sometimes I just, I don't know. I don't always like to be comfortable. I'm not always comfortable naked. Even though I'm doing all this naked stuff now, right? I'm doing nude yoga. I love doing tantra and connecting with folks nude, etc. But yeah, I would say locker rooms, like back in the day, I remember in junior high when I was on the swim team, like the idea of being naked and seeing all that was wonderful. But the idea of people seeing me completely freaked me out. So I did like one season on the swim team and that was it. But I've always struggled with that. So I hope that by making this video, folks can relate to my experience and know that they're not alone if you've struggled with appreciating, loving, and accepting your penis the way it is. And also, getting into that world of comparing and feeling shame about how you look. So hopefully, by us having these conversations, we can begin to love and accept all of ourselves and appreciate what we have. And I would say, the last thing, around just the gratitude of my penis is that when I first got down here to St. Petersburg with my husband, and I had an infection and they ended up doing a catheter and I couldn't pee for like a week. That was not fun, for one, to have a catheter in your penis. But two, I also was so grateful that I could pee out my penis once I started peeing again. Like, to be able to pee out my penis, you just, until you can't do that and you have a thing hanging out and it's like draining the pee out of your bladder, I have just so much gratitude that I can pee. Super, super grateful to be able to pee. And so I love my penis for that. I am going to wrap it up here in the next 60 seconds or so. As promised, these videos, I always try and keep them to 15 minutes. But I'm going to share my letter to my penis, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. So feel free to write a letter to your penis. And if you want to email, text me, whatever, my contact information's here. Feel free to reach out. I hope you have found this helpful. But here we go. So, dear cock/penis. First of all, let me say thank you for all the pleasure and fun your existence has created in my life. From sex to blowjobs to jerking off, the pleasure is real, powerful, and wonderful. Ever since I was young, I have wanted you to be something more than what you are. As a kid, I was waiting for you to hit your growth spurt, sprout pubic hair, and become a man's cock. Although day to day, proportionately, your growth is stunted, I do very much enjoy how much you expand in length and girth when the moment is right. I find a lot of pleasure in your size and joy you bring to me and to other men. Ironically, today I'm more likely to shave than cheer on a hairy bush. Plus, with age, you have certainly become less stiff and sometimes a bit too sleepy when the trumpets play. But that's to be expected. Modern medicine helps with that. Lastly, considering the big picture, my whole being, personality, and spirit, you are very much an important part of my journey. As important as my heart, my lungs, my feet, legs, hands, arms, neck, brain, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and head, a beautiful part of my human experience. Thank you. Bye.